Welcome to the X's and Argos film study. I'm Ben Grant. Hopefully you had a chance to see my film session with Dakota Prukop earlier in the week, and now we break down Michael O'Connor's quarter of action against the Ottawa Redblacks from last Saturday. And I think we're all hoping he'll get some time against Hamilton this week, which should be a much better test. All right, let's take a look at the film from last week. So I talked about this when I broke down the Dakota Prukop film, but it's worth repeating here. Coach Chapdelaine did a great job of putting his young QBs in situations that allowed them to be successful. This is O'Connor's first play of the game. It's right at the end of the third quarter. And anytime a new QB comes into the game, especially a young guy, the defense is expecting run. So the free safeties lined up 9 yards deep. Everyone else is even tighter. And coach feeds that suspicion by lining up in double tight. Now, there's no play action here, which would normally create even more space for the quarterback by bringing in the backers. But that's because we're setting up something else here. You actually want the DBs to react immediately to it being a pass. So as a defense with the young QB's first play, if it's not run, you're expecting all hooks or a Z quick or maybe a quick hitter with a flood to the boundary or something like that. So Chapdelaine feeds into that. The DBs see pass. They see Smith here and Edwards here hook at 5 yards, and they come crashing in looking for a pick six. But then Edwards turns on the Jets. It's a hook and go. He completely burns Sherrod Baltimore. It's cover one, but there's no help from the free here because Gittins Jr., he has an inside release on Chaffee. He crosses the free's face. His job is basically to be covered by the free. So Edwards is wide open. Now, this ends up being a 31-yard gain, which is great, but this should be and really has to be a touchdown. So why isn't it? This has nothing to do with arm strength. O'Connor can fire the ball as well as anyone in the league. He's got a cannon. His read is right. His timing is right. He shorts it because he doesn't step into the throw. Watch his front foot here. It barely moves as he releases the ball. Now, he doesn't step up because he thinks he can't, but the pass protection is actually pretty good. He needs to step into this ball. We've got 7 guys blocking 6, and they give ground, but there's still time and space. He throws flat-footed and falls away, which is why the ball is underthrown by about 10 yards. Edward does a great job coming back to this ball and making a play. 2nd and 7, we're in quads right pistol. Ottawa's got a 4-man rush. They're in man to the boundary. We got cover 3 hold to the field. O'Connor he makes a great play here, but I didn't realize it until I watched it back. So watching it live, I was focused in on the offensive line, and I didn't understand why O'Connor held onto the ball for so long. It looked like a short concept to the quad side, and we should have had a numbers advantage underneath. He looks like he's about to throw, and then he double clutches, and then finally completes the pass to Edwards. I attributed that initially to sort of the hesitation of a rookie not knowing that the guy was open, waiting, double clutching, and then firing it late. But what actually happens is he reads Edwards just about to open up, so he's about to throw. Then Edwards slips, and now there's no window to make that throw because the backer's in the way. So O'Connor reloads. He buys time by stepping to his right, and then he fires a rocket for a first down. He gets sandwiched here by Ellis and who's that? Latanzio. Your heart probably stopped when you saw this play. This looked like a screen pass. It is not a screen. This is probably something that Coach Chapdelaine drew up based on a vulnerability he saw in film, whether it was earlier, maybe a couple weeks ago when we played Ottawa or Ottawa against another team. But I'm guessing that there were probably multiple occasions where Ottawa linebackers abandoned the backside flats on a roll to the quad side. So O'Connor rolls over to the quad side, and then he throws immediately to the backside flats, looking for cross. Now, obviously, this didn't work, and man, this is a dangerous throw, but this was probably the entire plan. Now, that being said, there's a point at which you just don't throw this ball. I would like to have seen O'Connor recognize cross as being covered and either look elsewhere or throw it away. But again, like he completes the pass. And this is, while it's a scary throw, like how is this for accuracy and body control, arm strength? Like I said before, like he can make every throw, and he sort of shows that here, just with just a really odd-looking play. But again, this is probably something that they thought they might be able to take advantage of, but Ottawa seems to have corrected it. This is O'Connor's first touchdown pass, and it looks almost like a mirror image of Prukop's first touchdown. So it's a great read, great ball from O'Connor. He sees Rodney Smith picked up by Corey Tyndall. He knows there's a huge height difference between them of almost a foot. And so he tosses up a jump ball. He puts it in a place where only Rodney Smith can get to it. Now, the play got reviewed. I'm glad it didn't get overturned. Smith does push off, but you never call the push off when everything kind of remains in tight to the body. Like they don't call chicken wings and subtle shoves. As long as you keep your hands inside, this rarely gets flagged, and it almost never gets overturned on review. Look at O'Connor. He puts this ball in a perfect spot. That's a nice play from Smith. Michael O'Connor takes a big hit on this play, but what's so encouraging about it is that he stood in there to make the throw, knowing that he was going to get hit. He didn't turtle. He put everything into the throw, and he got crushed, jumped back up again. So here's what we've got. He sees man coverage to the field. He puts the ball in a great spot. Just Chaffee made a play. And let's see what happened here. So Jamal Campbell comes out of his stance high. Chanel Jenkins uses a power move to get him off balance, and then we've got a swim with the right arm that allows Jenkins to get on by. That's a nice, hard, clean hit by Jenkins, but what a job getting that ball out there to Edwards. Edwards almost made that play. Quads right to the field. Ottawa sends 4. It's cover 1. O'Connor's looking to Rodney Smith. He's been covered by Chaffee, but Chaffee has helped deep middle, so this is a throw you can't make. I'm not a believer in hard rules, like you never throw a post into cover 1 or a corner into cover 3. I think they're very good guidelines. I think definitely you those aren't automatics. I think you guard against any of these throws, but I think it depends a little bit on alignment, what athletes you have out there, the situation. In this case, though, you just can't throw this ball. Unless you're just trying to stretch out the defense, this is an intentional overthrow where you're trying to back everybody up. But that's not what's happening here at this stage of the game on 2nd and long. It's just a poor decision. And it looks like he's predetermined where he's going to go here. 5-step drop and then launch. Trips left queen. This is another great example of Coach Chapdelaine setting up his young quarterbacks for success. He did this with Prukop in the 3rd quarter. So by getting in the play call quickly, it leaves time for the quarterback to run a dummy cadence. And you get some helpful information out of this. So O'Connor sees that Cameron Walker is coming. He also knows it's cover 3 cut. It's 2nd and 10, so as the play develops, he's got Giddens Jr. open in the flats, but this is only going to be for about 5 yards. The corner's just sitting there waiting. And by the time anyone else opens up, there's all kinds of trouble in the backfield. So O'Connor takes another big hit here, but he does a great job of throwing the ball away. A lot of young QBs here would try to force it, maybe get picked, or they take the sack, risking a fumble. Throwing the ball away is the right play. Now, a veteran throws this ball away earlier when he sees it breaking down and avoids taking the hit altogether. All right, let's take a look at what went wrong here. Okay. So we're 1 second into the play. We've got Tyler Holmes on the ground. Jamal Campbell is facing the wrong way, and then the man that Holmes was blocking pile drives O'Connor 6 feet into the ground. So there wasn't a lot going right here on the O-line on this play. Quads right to the field. Ottawa sends 4. This is a screen pass, and it should have gone. This is a perfect call. O'Connor is perfect. Ouellette is perfect. And we get 2 yards out of it. So let's take a look here. Okay, O'Connor backs up, brings the D-line to him, which is perfect, lofts it over the top to Ouellette. And look at this setup. Like, how is this not a touchdown? I'm going to show you how it's not a touchdown. So Bombin checks back, and at least he makes his block. But here, I think he has to assess this a little better. Jenkins isn't a threat to come back to Ouellette and catch him on the run here. But this isn't the worst thing in the world. I'm okay with Bombin making this block. I would rather him go downfield because I think there are greater threats downfield, but I'm okay with this. Holmes, though, he flat out misses Kevin Brown. And McEwen, I don't even know where McEwen's going. Like, he runs right past Shahid Salman, who ends up making the tackle. So if either Bombin or McEwen picks up Salman, it's gone. This is a touchdown. 3rd and 7 now. Argos going for it. This is their last offensive play of the game. We got trips right to the field. Ottawa sends 4. They're in cover 1. Okay, so O'Connor's choice here to go to Worthy on the corner route. On paper, this is the correct call. On paper, a corner route against cover 1 is a win. But we got Ferris in coverage here. He reads Worthy's route and actually runs it better than he does. Also, O'Connor has way too much loft on the ball. So by putting the ball up this high, it allows Sherrod Baltimore, who's out here on the sideline, allows him, who's covering short, to get back into the play, and he almost makes the picks. He's got great speed. Worthy ends up taking a penalty here for tackling Ferris, which is a smart move on his part. He knows he's not going to get there. He doesn't want Ferris to make the pick. It doesn't, it probably doesn't really matter at this stage of the game, but this is just generally a good rule in that case. Prevent the defense from getting a pick, and who knows what happens. Maybe he brings it back 100 yards or whatever. And so it is the right move for Worthy to tackle him to the ground, make sure there's no pick on that play, the ball falls incomplete, and they're going to decline the penalty anyway, which they did. So what are we left with? Michael O'Connor belongs at this level. I think that's the main thing we can get out of this. He was way better than his stat line indicated. And his stat line didn't look that bad either. Dakota Prukop looked better, but he's been in the league long. It's his 3rd year in the league. O'Connor made small mistakes, but those are all correctable. So hopefully he has a chance to play against Hamilton this week, and we can see how much he's improved over the course of the week from watching film, from having some actual game experience. And I think we'll get a really good read on Michael O'Connor the next time we see him play. And hopefully he gets an entire half against Hamilton. We'll see how they manage that game. But I'm looking forward to seeing both of these guys play on Saturday. That's it for the X's and Argos film study. Don't forget to check our website for all the latest. And be sure to check out the X's and Argos podcast following the game. My name's Ben Grant. Thanks for watching.